We're back! It's a new week!
We're in the same stuff!
We actually
You should have seen all the crazy stuff that's happened in football in the last 2 weeks.
It's been brutal.
Oh my God. Who would have known? Who would have known that Brett Favre would have come out of retirement to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Really?
Yes.
I thought he was going to play for San Francisco after.
No, they picked up Kurt Warner.
I like Kurt Warner.
So it's like San Francisco has Kurt Warner. Brett Favre is now a Jacksonville Jaguar. It's like Peyton Manning looks like he's had a bionic arm put on. He threw for 500 yards against the Colts. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. 8 touchdowns. Take that, Drew Brees. Sorry, I know I'm so worried to say stuff, but take that.
I was just going to say we fell asleep in my garage for a week.
Oh, God. I like this jersey. It looks good. It's gold.
Gold looks...
I wish I had a lot of gold. And Riggins is a classic. Look at that. 44, double fours, double eights. It's good.
I like double numbers. I'm a double
numbers. But we're not here to talk about the amazing things that have happened in the last 2 weeks since we've been gone. Because this is not being all recorded in the same day.
No.
This is 2 weeks into the future.
No, future.
Future. So don't pay much attention to it. But, and this is going to be way after the World Series.
Yeah, this is, I would like to give kudos to the Kansas City Royals, who are... I mean, I grew up in Kansas, so they're like my favorite team. They still are, and they won. And I mean, I pull for the Rockies. I really don't pull hard though.
Name a Rocky.
I have a Helton shirt.
No, name a current Rocky.
I have a
boy, that looks like that hurts.
I know. Tulowitzki.
No, he's a Toronto Blue Jay.
Or, no, maybe not.
He is a Toronto Blue Jay.
Maybe.
Nobody's done anything. There's no trades in baseball.
It's been 2 weeks. Maybe he was traded.
You can't because the trade is not. You can't trade right now.
You're making this up as you go.
I am.
You can't do that. Okay, you want a Rocky?
Give me a Rocky. Current Rocky.
The Blake Street Bombers.
Name them.
Andres Galarraga. He played first, second, and third, and fourth.
Played first base.
It's right.
Dante Bichette.
Dante Bichette is the name I was trying to think of. Don Baylor.
Don Baylor was the coach. He was not part of the Blake Street Bombers.
You're not a coach in baseball. Please don't.
Manager, whatever.
Please don't. Don't sound like we don't know what we're talking about.
He was the manager.
I don't know any
Vinny
Rocky.
Castilla. Ellis Burks. Larry Walker. You need a lot of help. Helton was never on the Blake Street Bombers.
No, but
because Andres Galarraga was first base.
But I think Helton just retired.
No, Helton is not a current Rocky. Carlos Gonzalez is a current Rocky.
Carlos Gonzalez, there you go.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. How about De La Rosa? There's a picture for you. Say it. Go ahead. Say De La Rosa.
I can't even name a Royal.
But I can. Cueto.
Yeah.
Johnny Cueto.
But I do like I was for the Royals. So
I can only name one Royal off the original championship team, George Brett. So I'm keeping in that with
George Brett. That was a great team.
But yes, congratulations to the Kansas City Royals. Even though I picked the Cubs to win in a sweep.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I thought it would be fun. The Cubs.
Was the same day you picked the Patriots to not.
I think it was. It was not a good day for me. No. But the Cubs, we found out can't hit pitching that's over 95 miles an hour. It's the weirdest thing.
How ironic! I can't either. I could play for the Cubs.
I could too. I can't hit 95 mile an hour pitching.
No.
Sign me up.
I couldn't hit a car coming at me 95 miles an hour.
I don't think I could even get hit by a pitch doing 97 miles an hour because I don't think I could get in front of it in time.
I know I can't move out of
I know I couldn't get out of the way of it, so it's like if they're aiming right at me, they're going to get me.
You know, I'm thinking the Cubs were getting swept that really blows. If you make a series out of it, it's not bad. You got swept, Cubs. And the good news is there are still people in their lifetime who have been Cubs fans for 90 years or 100 years who have never seen them win a World Series.
I know you take such great joy in these people suffering for a century.
They had the 85 Bears.
Well, and they've still got the Blackhawks. Yeah. The Blackhawks have won a couple of championships.
Their lives aren't dismal.
They're not dismal. They had
the White Sox. You can always switch.
You had one of the greatest basketball players ever play, and you got 6 rings out of him.
Yeah. You could have had a lot more if you weren't stupid.
Thank you, Jerry Reinsdorf.
Jerry Reinsdorf, you're an idiot. No, you Reinsdorf, idiot. You Krause, idiot. And this, I lived in Chicago around that time, and I'm going to tell you straight up, they could have won 8 in a row. They could have won. They won the 3. Jordan left
to play baseball.
God, I want to talk about that. You should have been a Cub. And then
you're the White Sox, though.
I know. And they came back for 3. They went 3. That was really cool. And they could have won another 2 more. Had Reinsdorf and everybody who not wanted everybody out of town. And anyway, that's another story. So, you Cub fans, you still got plenty of teams. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, didn't even the White Sox win a World Series recently?
They have in the last few years,
yeah. So I mean, Chicago's got some teams that are winning championships for them.
Boston's got nothing.
They got the Patriots, and I guess that's all they need. I don't think they really need anything else. The Red Sox have won a couple of World Series.
I just wanted you to have to admit it.
What?
That they had the Patriots. I know you hate them.
I hate Belichick. I don't hate the Patriots. I used to like Steve Grogan, Tony Eason, Irving Fryer.
How could you like Tony Eason?
Well, I didn't like but I rooted for them. I thought I liked those teams. I didn't have anything against those teams.
Andre Tippett?
I did like Andre Tippett.
Did you?
Wasn't there a guy named Mosey Tutupu? I think he was for the Arizona Cardinals or the St. Louis Cardinals, probably that long ago.
Anyway,
Mosey Tutupu. It's a great name. Tutupu.
And this some of the things that I predict in the future. I think Goodell is going to lose. He's going to leave.
Well,
if he lost,
quick prediction for the future of the NFL. Roger Goodell is not going to be there for.
Do you think
very much
if
longer.
he loses,
he's disappeared? We haven't even seen Roger Goodell.
I think he's in the.
I think he came out of retirement and he became an alien probe.
I think he's. Oh, you did not just do that. Oh.
Well, he's basically.
Is it possible? Okay, if he loses the court case again, would he have to resign?
We've already kind of discussed this. The owners are pushing Goodell to win this. This isn't really Goodell versus Brady. This is the owners of the NFL versus the Patriots. But it's being put as a Goodell-Brady battle.
Okay.
But really, the owners want the Patriots to be punished. What better way to punish the Patriots than make Tom Brady sit for 4 games and you're going to get 4 losses?
Okay, so that's fine. What else do you want to talk about? I said my Royals won. I'm happy.
The Royals did win. And that is a good thing.
And something else happened that night.
I am glad to see that the Royals did win.
And that night, the Broncos beat the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, that was a great win.
77 yards. Very good. Very good. Very good, Aaron Rodgers. I would like to touch on something. I don't think in the NFL right now, getting rid of your quarterback or benching your quarterback, I'm not a big fan of this. Johnny Manziel starts 1 week, and I know the other guy was hurt. You guys, you gotta put a guy in and let him figure it out. There's 1 or 2 games does not a career make. 1 or 2 games or even a year does not make a career. You draft these guys, play it out. Don't give up so damn quick.
You remember back in the day, it's like that's all you did. You just threw them in there and you played them for 4 or 5 years. And sometimes they became great and sometimes they didn't. But you didn't give up after them, after 12 games and sit there and go, I got to put somebody else in.
This horse crap of, really, they do the 2 or 3 games and then they pull them. Johnny Manziel, in all honesty, he gets, and I know you hate Johnny Manziel. I know you have his essence. We talked about that. But I
destroyed it. I don't have it. I broke it.
Johnny Manziel gets 1 game to prove himself. Then he'll get another game to prove himself. You know what? That doesn't do anything. You don't learn on the bench. Anybody that ever says you learn on the bench is bullshit. You don't. Players don't learn on the bench. They learn how to get water, and they learn where to stand where it's warm, and they learn things like that. But you don't. You got to play to learn. And Manziel's one. Kaepernick, I know he's had his ups and downs. But also you change systems enough, and a guy doesn't learn very easily. Peyton always runs his system, except for this year, which he's not played very well. I wonder why. It's not his system. But, Brady usually has his type of system.
Yeah.
And you can't change offensive coordinators. Some teams do quite often. I want to think who was it, Cordell Stewart, when he was with the Steelers. They changed their offensive coordinators a few times from what I was told. And these guys have to learn this crap all. It's different terminology, but you know what? It's still a pain in my butt that I'd have to learn it. But they do give up too quickly. And I'm not saying that there's some that they shouldn't have given up on, but boy, they sure don't give them much of a chance.
Well, this is the thing. Colin Kaepernick, he is the guy that took the San Francisco 49ers to a Super Bowl and to an NFC Championship game the next year. And now all of a sudden he can't play football? Don't give me that.
No.
It's like whoever's in charge there is not putting him in the same position that Harbaugh put him in. Tom Sula should not be a head coach in the NFL, first off.
No.
But the fact of the matter is, Colin Kaepernick is still mobile. He can still create things with his legs. You got to get him out there running around. And he's not a big quarterback, but he's not a small quarterback. He can take a pretty good hit. But you got to get him out there to run around and give him time to look the field. He's not a prototypical pocket passer. But if you can get him out in space, we watched him for those 2 years create some amazing plays down the field.
He really did. And he made the NFL more exciting. And I remember the Packers just keying on him the next year. You know, him and the Packer defense going after him, you know. The year of, or it is the age of the mobile quarterback, and people think it's brand new. Well, it's not. Back in the 70s, you had what they called a scrambler. You had a Roger Staubach, a Fran Tarkenton. All these guys, they ran around a little bit. Not, I shouldn't say all, but those guys did. And now you've got quarterbacks that can run. You know, you got your Russell Wilsons. Newton, they didn't give up on Newton, and he's had some up years and down years. Griffin III, he went to the playoffs his first year, guys.
But I think what hurt, and I'll tell you what hurt Robert Griffin more than anything. I think it's the Ryan Leaf syndrome. He basically is not a great teammate. He's a little bit too arrogant for his own good, and he hasn't proven anything yet in the NFL. So his teammates aren't behind him. If your teammates aren't behind you and supporting you and trying to help you out, I think it's a little harder to succeed. I think if he was just a little bit more humble. To me, Robert Griffin III can throw the football. He can move around in the pocket. He is mobile. He is the best quarterback on that team currently. But his coaches have given up on him. It's like if your coaches have given up on you, how are the players supposed to believe in you? How are your teammates supposed to believe in you? How can you play good when nobody believes in you? Well, so it's like, but he is the best talent on that team. And if he learned a little bit of humility and he just put his nose down, worked really hard, I think basically what Robert Griffin III needs is a change of scenery. I think he needs to go somewhere else where somebody. I mean, it's like right now, I think, you know, there are 5 or 6 teams in the NFL right now that would take Robert Griffin III in a heartbeat.
I would.
It's like just, you know, I would bring him here to be Peyton's backup for the rest of the season, and then let's see what he can do next year for the Broncos with a really talented defense. It's like, why not? Why not? Take a chance with him. Kubiak might be able to work some magic with this guy. Kubiak likes quarterbacks that are mobile. He did his best work, of course, with Elway. It's like Robert Griffin could roll out. He could do all that kind of stuff.
He's like, not as, I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't know if he's lost a step or anything. I don't think he has.
But he's still as fast as Elway at this point.
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I would be fine with Robert Griffin III running that kind of an offense, even though kind of he did when the Shanahans were there.
Yeah.
But I think Mike Shanahan gave up on him very quickly.
Well, in today's NFL, you aren't there long. Well, look at this. We've already learned this. Pagano, they're already talking for his head.
Yep.
Last year they weren't. Last year they made it to the playoffs, and they did okay.
They made it to the AFC Championship.
And you know, another thing, coaches. I know the great ones not often, but sometimes you just have a down year. You don't give up on a down year. It does happen. In the NFL, it's so funny how we start out every year and you say all the positives about certain teams, and you realize as you're listening to people pick these teams, you're like, you only got like 6 playoff spots on each side.
Mm-hmm.
You think
everybody can't make the playoffs?
Wow.
Everybody can't win the Super Bowl. Everybody doesn't get a trophy at the end of the year.
It's not like what is it, hockey or basketball? You really isn't. You got 30 teams, and it's 4 and it's 12 teams go.
12 out of 32 teams.
Yeah.
12. You have 20 teams that aren't even going to make the playoffs.
And
20.
Yep. And
we need to kind of get this wrapped up. We're almost at our 15. We thought this would be a short show.
I'm done.
In the future.
I don't say anything more.
All right, we're good. We just had to film another show. in the future.
Robert Griffith III is a Denver Bronco.
Bye.